lunch has just arrived. Got some battered barramundi and some chips, and it looks delicious. And we're in Cornubia. I can't say it. Cornubia, George's seafood restaurant. That's really yum.
Bit of fresh barra.
Oh wow!
What was the specialty at your fish and chip shop, Reg?
Oh gosh, I think the best sellers at the shop was my potato cakes that I used to make.
It's funny, we call them potato scallops.
I know. There's always a debate about that.
Yeah. Why cakes?
Why scallops? Were you born here?
Yeah. Yeah. I was born on the Sunshine Coast. So I was born in Nambour Hospital, grew up in Maleny, but spent a lot of time down here in Brisbane and between, so back and forth, but moved to Brisbane officially when I was about 3. I moved away when I finished school.
Yeah.
And then got a job in the city, went to uni, bought a house, met Corey, all those things. My grandfather was into horses, so he had a horse stud, so he used to breed and train thoroughbreds.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so I grew up on the farm.
Did you ride horses?
Yeah. I haven't for a little while, but
Yeah.
I still could if I got back on, I reckon.
So do you have a punt now? Or like...
I do enjoy going to the races. I like keeping my money close to my chest. So I'll have a $5 bet each way or something like that, but nothing crazy.
I normally do that on, like when it's Melbourne Cup Day or
special race
a
days.
special race day,
I like to spend my money on things that I can hold, you know, like handbags or shoes or sunglasses or something.
I'm scared of horses though.
Oh. They can smell the fear.
Maybe that's why I got chased by one, because I got chased by one. Yeah, when I was...
That's not fun.
No, in high school. I had to walk through this big paddock, but I was eating an apple.
Right,
And
he was hungry.
He must have been hungry and chased me.
You had his lunch.
Oh, Margaux, I ran for my life and it just bolted after me.
Oh my goodness.
I remember climbing over this wooden fence and then jumping into someone's backyard, and then there was this bloody big German Shepherd there trying to attack me.
Oh really?
So I've always had, I've had
What an experience for you.
a fear of horses. How did you get into radio?
Into radio. I got into radio 7 years ago now.
Yeah.
I had a few friends in the industry, and my husband at the time was playing for the Brisbane Broncos and had a pretty high profile job in the NRL. There was this interest in WAGs, they called them back in the day. And during Corey's playing career, I was known as a bit of a Brisbane WAG and used to do lots of social events.
Yep.
And they used to ring me and use me for interviews and content.
Yeah.
And one of the producers was leaving Triple M and moving out to River 949. And he called me up and asked me if I was ever thought about doing radio, if I was interested in it. And at that time, I just had our 4th baby. She was 8 weeks old. I had 4 kids under 5.
Oh, wow.
And he said, we would love you to come out and just do like a co-host appearance for 1 week, 5 till 7 at Ipswich, Monday to Friday. And I looked at Corey and I said, what do you think? And he said, give it a go. It's only a week. It's low commitment. And so I rang them back and I said, can I bring my baby with me? And he said yes, because I was breastfeeding. And they were very, welcoming and made me feel really comfortable. And I did a week on air with Campo out at River 949. And then 18 months later, Triple M had called me and said, hey, we've got a tape here of you doing some work out at River 949. We're auditioning for a new show. Would you like to come in and demo for it? And I looked at Corey once again and I said, what do you think? And he said, do it.
Oh gosh, I'd love to do radio.
Yeah, it's good fun.
How can I get into it? It's like...
Well, I maybe know a person or two. I could...
Well, because, like with my eyesight, limited vision, it'd be a bloody good thing for me to be able to... And I love talking to people.
Yeah.
And people are always saying, Reg, you should be doing radio, but it's just never... it's a hard thing.
Hasn't been a thing that's come up.
After my first big brother, I met Michael Gidinski.
Okay, yes.
And he, oh gosh, whoever was the head of, I don't know whether it was down in Melbourne. No, he wanted to get me a job in Sydney. That's right, Sydney Radio.
Yep.
Yeah, and I auditioned for it and
Yep.
that, but the producer gave it to his son's girlfriend.
Oh, nepotism.
It's like, oh, okay.
Corey really loved seeing what it did for me, in a sense, away from being at home with the kids and being a mum, and, you know, finding another sense of purpose on top of being a mum, because even though I love that role, you know, the reward and appreciation probably always isn't there, and particularly when you've got 4 of them under 5, right?
So does Corey look after them while you're...
So in the mornings,
morning?
he's at home now, so the roles have really reversed. You know,
So
for 7 years I was at home and raising our kids, and he was off playing footy, and now we both have careers in media, but it's flexible, and in the sense that, you know, I do during the week in the
Yep.
mornings, and he does at night on the weekends.
Would you ever want to do a show like Kyle and Jackie O?
They're quite controversial, aren't they? They're a bit of a talking point in Sydney. They get all those, you know, incredible listeners and views and TV time and media. But I would like to think that our show,
Yours is...
Triple M Breakfast in the morning with Dan, Margaux and myself, is relatively similar in the sense that we're a bit edgier than a lot of the other Brisbane radio stations in the morning. You know, we don't take ourselves too seriously. We have a lot of fun. We laugh. We take the mickey out of politicians. You know, we have fun with the news. You know, we try and find a different angle on it that's not serious, that's not boring, that's not just, you know, filling time and content.
You've got to have good chemistry.
Good chemistry helps, and we've got a lot of banter, and, you know, it's you know, like I keep saying fun, but it's fun. We laugh a lot and we have a lot of fun, and our listeners give us that feedback in the sense that they have fun with us. And I always say to them, I hope you're at least laughing with us or at us, you know, one or the two.
I like Kyle. A lot of people don't like Kyle, but I got invited. I went to his, I think it was his 40th birthday in Sydney. I went to that, and it was so good. But
I've never met.
But he's lovely.
I've never met him.
Oh,
I've never met them.
They're just lovely people.
Yeah, but you know what? They're doing their thing. They know their market. They're getting paid great money to do it. So good on them. You know, they found their niche.
Who are other broadcasters you admire?
I've been really fortunate to have some really great friendships in the industry that have really guided me. You know, when I came in first and foremost, I had Emily Jade O'Keefe.
Oh, she's beautiful.
So she was one of my girlfriends before I got into radio. We were neighbours. We lived next door to each other.
Really?
We raised our babies together. You know, I'm godmother to her children. She's godmother to my children. And she really helped guide me and shape me, you know, when I was coming in, and offered support. And then our sister station is B105, and Abby Coleman has also always been so generous and kind with her time and her support of me. So those two probably were the first real supportive females that I've had in the industry, and who welcomed me in with open arms, you know, because ultimately, you know, the ratings of radio is competitive, absolutely, and we all want to win, and we all want to have the most amount of listeners, and, you know, we want to sell advertising for our clients, absolutely, first and foremost, but at the same time, there's a really beautiful friendship and connection of women there, and so I guess probably those two I really admire, because they were the women that I looked to when I first came into the industry.
I miss listening to, well, because I can't drive.
Yeah.
I haven't drove now for 16 years, so I
Oh
really
my gosh, has it been that long?
Yeah, like, so me, it was a baby when I had to hand my licence in, and I don't get to really listen to the radio unless...
How do you find not driving? I love driving. Like, I love driving. I don't know how I would go, because we'll go away on holidays for a week or two, and then you haven't driven, and you come back and you get in your car and you're like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever, you know?
So I always say to people, like, when you get stuck in traffic, just appreciate it.
Yeah, think of me, think of me.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And enjoy the road rage.
You don't realise what you've got until it's gone, as they say, right?
Until it's gone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, well, there you go.
So your husband, Corey, is a big name in the NRL. Were you always a fan of rugby league?
Well, I think I grew up a
With
fan
that.
of rugby league. My dad was a big Broncos fan. My
Yeah.
brother played rugby league.
Oh.
I had a cousin who, was really good at rugby league as well. And so it was always sort of in and around our
In it.
family. We were down at the footy club on a Friday night at Slacks Creek. My brother played and we'd run around as the siblings, filling in time, etc. But I was a dancer too, so dancing I was consumed by for a period of time as well.
Okay. What
And
kind
then
of dancing?
Jazz, ballet, tap, contemporary,
really?
hip hop. I do it all, Reg.
Do you want any more?
No,
of
I'm
that?
right, thank you, darling.
How did you just meet?
So I was at a girlfriend's house,
Mm-hmm.
just in Cornubia actually, which is about 10 minutes from here. And we just finished up at a job and we came back to her place because we had carpooled. And as I was getting into my car to drive away, this little white fluffy puppy dog, about this big white ball of fluff, ran out onto the grass in the yard beside where I was pulling out. And I was like, oh my God, this dog, like who does it belong to? And my girlfriend said, I think it belongs to the guys next door. They've just moved in. And I was like, oh, okay. So I picked up the dog and over I went, knocked on the door, and Corey answered the door. This guy answered the door, and I was like, hey, is this your dog? And he's like, yeah, are you trying to steal it? And I said, I don't know. I said, I don't know. Do you come with it? And we kind of had a bit of a laugh, and we got chatting, and I said, oh, I'm Margaux, and he said, I'm Corey.
Oh gosh, how long you been together? Like married?
21 years. 21 years together, married for 16.
I suppose it takes all different kinds of
Yeah.
people, doesn't it? It's like with my partner, Phil. Gosh, we've been together 6 years, but he's a FIFO worker and he flies away. And he says, Reg, these relationships do not last at all. Like, because the girlfriends want them home or the wives want them home. And but he's an introvert, very shy guy, and I'm an extrovert.
Yeah.
So it works.
Yeah.
It works.
But I think the thing is I wasn't just at home by myself feeling sorry for myself whilst Corey was away.
Yeah.
I had girlfriends and we'd get together for play dates and do mother's group and go to the park or go to a play centre or, go to each other's houses for coffee and catch up.
So you
so I
supported,
still had a support network around me, which was really nice, He would come home and he would cook and he'd get down on the ground and he'd play with the kids and he'd take them to the park so I could have a rest if I was feeding or up with the baby in the middle of the night.
Yep.
So it's always been a real partnership and a real team kind of effort as well.
Well,
you've
lasted so long.
So long, touch wood.
Oh,
I'll keep him for a bit longer.
I've had 2 bloody divorces.
But it's one of those things,
I don't think I'm good at marriage. The first one, Adrian, I was only 21 when we got married, so anyway.
It's young and you don't know
It's
who you
young.
are, right?
No, I was still,
Yeah. Corey and I have been fortunate that we've figured out who we are together,
Yeah.
and helped each other through that, supported each other, it's definitely not perfect. We've had our moments and our blow-ups and our fights, and we broke up after 2 years, actually.
Oh,
and
wow.
because I think he realised that this is it. This is the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with. Oh my God, is this what I want now?
Yeah.
And so he broke up with me, and I was devastated because I was like, I haven't done anything wrong. Like we're really good, and he's like, I just don't know if I'm ready for forever. So we still do date nights, and
that's
still make
awesome.
sure if we've got a wedding or an event or something, we can get a night away of it, and we get a babysitter because we realise that that's still important.
Well, you've got to get a good shag in.
Got to get a good shag in, absolutely. Got kids, teenagers creeping around now. And don't go to bed till a little bit later, and they're like knocking on the door. We're like, what? We're like teenagers. What?
It's been in the press lately about Corey with his CTE.
Yep.
I can't say that. How do I say that?
No, don't worry.
You can't say it?
No, chronic traumatic something or other. Let me look at it. Encephalopathy.
Is that from all
CTE.
Is it been?
So just concussions, So lots of hits over the years. So at the moment, Corey hasn't had any official testing, brain scans, etc., because CTE is not something that they can diagnose until post-mortem. So they actually take...
until you're dead?
Until you're dead. They take your brain, you have to donate it, and they take your brain, they slice it in half, and they look at it. Yeah. So it's not something that they can actually diagnose you with pre-death. And so they say probable CTE.
So what
So symptoms
Yeah.
of it can be memory loss, can be, you know, just forgetfulness in general, which is all of us, right?
Well,
We're all
I
so
do.
busy,
Oh.
I forget everything,
Yeah.
right? Where's my car keys? But it's like blackout moments in his life, you know, like a lot of his football career, he doesn't have memory of. Drinking exacerbates it if he has a few drinks.
Oh, maybe
the next
that's-
day
oh,
he does not
geez.
remember, you know. So, you know, playing professional football for 16 years, but beyond that, he's been playing since he was in under eights, you know, and so hits and falls on the ground and head knocks, you know, all of that adds up, and we just have so much more awareness around it now and what it looks like. They're bringing in, you know, so much protection in and around it in the junior games, you know, with tackling below the sternum.
Shit, I forget. I don't even remember going to bed last night. Probably because I had too many vodkas.
Well, I was going to say the bottle of wine probably doesn't help, Reg.
You renewed your wedding vows.
We did. I surprised Corey.
Oh, did you?
He had no idea. I re-proposed to him. He had been at a rugby carnival on the Gold Coast with our son Wiley all day. And while he was down the Gold Coast, I set up the backyard, I put all the chairs out, did all the flowers, I'd hide everything on Facebook Marketplace. And because if I've learned anything over 21 years of being with Corey is that he is a major tight ass and hates spending money on anything. And so I thought if I'm going to pull this off, it has to be the least cost amount as possible, because I don't want him to look around going, oh my God, how much does this cost me, as opposed to, oh, how nice is this, I'm getting remarried, you know? So I spent the afternoon, the day setting up, and he walked in through the door. I was dressed, ready to go, and as I opened the door, I got down on one knee and I said, will you marry me again? He said, well, shit, I can't say no because the backyard's set up, isn't it? And everybody's on their way. And I'd invited everybody for a Christmas party. So it was end of November, which is our wedding anniversary, 29th of November. So I said, before the kids go on holidays and everyone toddles off for Christmas, let's get together. We'll have a bit of a white Christmas backyard barbecue party. You know, just wear white. And so everyone turned up expecting a white Christmas party, and instead they turned up to our vow renewal.
Did you have a celebrant there?
Yeah, so Emily Jade.
Oh, Emily!
Yeah, she's a wedding celebrant, and we actually got married in the same church 15 years earlier. So she got married 4 weeks after we got married in the same church, and that's how we met each other.
Oh, wow.
So met Emily Jade and her husband Jared at a church when we were picking our music and doing the rehearsal, and we had to do that marriage counselling course that they make you do through the church, just to make sure everyone's across, you know, what the expectations are out of a marriage and all of that sort of stuff. And my dad and my sister got to be at our wedding for the first time, because they missed our first wedding. They were on a reality TV show called The Biggest Loser.
Oh, what?
Yeah. So my dad is Cam and my sister is Sam. So they were Cam and Sam. They were one of the first couples that went in, and my sister finished in the top 4, and my dad was one of the last people to be eliminated. So they moved into the house in the beginning of November. We got married at the end of November. And so they didn't actually get to be at our wedding. Yeah, so my sister was going to be one of my bridesmaids, and my dad didn't get to walk me down the aisle. So they sent a film crew to our wedding. So The Biggest Loser had a film crew set up in the church at our wedding, and they used it as part of the show, and they showed my dad and my sister the wedding video on the show. Yeah.
So what season was that? What one was
2008.
What social media platform is most important to you?
Well, there's for lots of different reasons. Instagram is where I just go to.
That's your go-to.
I share there. You know, I put the kids on there, our family, our caravanning.
Oh, okay.
You know, our holidays away, my work.
I think I do more on Facebook than what I do on.
Because you're older. Facebook
Instagram
is an older generation thing, they say.
Yeah, and I've got a lot of.
Yeah, and TikTok's really young. I don't do TikTok. I don't do Snapchat.
I forget to do.
I'm not into any of that.
Yeah,
I just share on Instagram, and I get all the information I need from Facebook, and that's enough for me.
Because I share a lot of, since Lucas was born with his cystic fibrosis. Awareness. It's all about awareness, and I've shared so much. And now he's got older, like he's 14, nearly 15. He's like, Mum, can you just stop now? I don't want to be on there.
They're
I
sort of at that
posted-
teen embarrassing.
Yeah.
They care about what other people think.
He goes, my friends have found your page, and he goes, you need to get me off everything that you've posted.
Yeah.
And I posted this video where he does his lung function test at the hospital. Only 8 seconds. Straight away, it's like all the trolls. Oh, that's what you get from vaping. That's what you get from being on the bongs. That's what you get from taking meth.
People are awful.
And I'm like, oh my God. And he's going, Mum, you got to take it down. He goes, get it down. And do you, lastly, have any questions for me at all?
I do. I have lots of questions for you,
Oh,
Reg, but I
okay.
think that needs to be a whole other YouTube series.
Another bloody series.
Another series.
We might need to
You've
come back.
experienced so much in your life and endured
Yeah.
so much, and you are such a bloody trooper, and you're just fun, and you're always happy, and always so warm. And I really appreciate that, and I respect that from you, because it can be really hard being in this industry and not having your shine and your sparkle dimmed or dulled, by other shit people.
Yeah.
So no, I really appreciate you and that, and I hope that no one dulls your sparkle too much.
Thank you. Thank you, Margaux, for coming on my Reggie's F&C.
Thank you for having me.
And one last thing, can we have a selfie?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's lovely.
Try and get the sign in. Where's the fish and chips?
Oh, yeah. You got it?
Beautiful. There you go.